everyone. We are Group 5. I'm David Babcock. I'm the project manager for this large project. You can see the rest of our lovely team and their roles at the bottom. Our project is Build-A-Book. What is Build-A-Book? Build-A-Book is a way to crowdsource the writing process. Say you're a writer and you have writer's block, or you're just someone who wants a creative outlet to contribute to a story. Build-A-Book will interest you. Just create a writing prompt with a brief description of what kind of story you're looking for and set it loose on the internet to see what comes back. When you create a new book, you set the number of chapters your book will have and the duration you want each chapter to be left open, and that's it. Other users will write a chapter for your book, which will be left open to be voted on by the Build-A-Book community. When the time expires, the chapter with the most votes will become part of the book. How can we accomplish such a feat? John Cunningham and I have done some basic research on how to do timed events, and MongoDB Atlas has a way of setting up code that runs whenever a database event happens. So when an expiration date changes, we can go through the chapters, and the one with the most votes will get added to the book. Also, React component-driven front-end system will allow us to build user interfaces quickly. Now John Cunningham will take you through our entity relationship diagram.
Alright, so here's our entity relationship diagram. As you can see, we have a user table, a book table, a chapter table, and a comment table. When making this ERD, there are a couple things we had to worry about. For instance, how do we associate multiple authors with one book? How do we associate multiple chapters with one book? How do we associate multiple comments with one chapter or a book? Well, we came up with a solution that fixes all of that. We're relying on the fact that since we're using MongoDB, MongoDB auto-generates a field called ID into each entry into the database. Inside the auto-generated field ID, there's a unique string that is unique to that object. So basically what we did is every time we wanted to associate like an author to a certain book, we just take the ID of that author and add it to an array within that book. So for example, if a user creates a book, the book is initialized and the ID of the user is added to an author array. Every time a chapter is is added to the book, the ID of that chapter is added to a chapter array within the book, and the author attribute of the chapter is added to the author array of the book. For comments, same thing. The ID of each comment is added to a comments array within each chapter or book it is associated with. And that's pretty much our ERD.
So, this is one of the use case diagrams. Our website will allow both registered users and non-registered users to access the website. This slide goes over what a non-registered user will be able to access. As you can see, a user without an account will be able to access the database in order to view the different users that are signed up on the website, view the current chapters of the different books, and lastly be able to view the finished books that are published onto the website. An existing user will have access to many more features on the website. After the user logs into his or her account, the password will be authenticated on the server. If the user has forgotten their password, they will have the ability to assign a new password. After the user has successfully signed in, they will have access to various website features such as creating a new book, deleting a book, creating a new chapter, commenting on a chapter, viewing different user profiles, viewing and editing their own account, and they will also have the ability to edit books. All of these features will communicate with the database.
In this use case diagram, we will go over how new users and premium users interact with the database. So let's start off with the new users. First, they're going to be able to sign up with Build-A-Book through either the mobile platform or through the website. Once they do sign up, they're going to complete an email verification as an extra security measure so that our database doesn't get overrun with bots or anything like that. Once they do both those things, they're going to be defaulted to be a basic user who's going to have all the privileges and functions as the previous slide with an assisting user. and they're going to have the option to become a premium user for a subscription fee. Now, once they become a premium user, they're going to have advantages over the basic user, with the advantages being able to do multiple chapter entries at once. They'll be able to open a book and multiple books at once, so that way they're not waiting for one project to end, and they're going to have access to multiple things. And last thing they're going to have is they're not going to be bombarded with ads or anything like that. So that's the relationship.
Organizational tools. First, we'll start off with Trello. Trello helps define our workflow, it helps delegate tasks, and inform the team who's working on what part of the project. Next, we have Gantt charts. Gantt charts provide a timeline, it helps set milestones, maps out how we will reach the goal of deploying the app. Next is Figma. Figma is a UI design tool. It allows every member of the team to collaborate on designs and make changes they see accordingly.
How do we intend to make money? There are two ways we plan to initially monetize Build-A-Book: premium subscriptions and display ads. Premium subscriptions would allow Build-A-Book users to pay a monthly fee in order to gain access to exclusive privileges such as submitting multiple chapter entries at once, having multiple books open at once, and no ads. We discussed other ways we could limit the base user experience, but the group decided not to go too far down that rabbit hole. Displaying ads for non-premium Build-A-Book users is another option to increase revenue. We would accomplish this by primarily utilizing pay-per-click and pay-per-impression ads, but could expand on this idea through other means such as affiliate marketing or sponsored content. If you have any comments or advice, please let us know in the discussion.